Hello friends, today we are here to understand the very important concept of algebra based on linear and quadratic equations. You can use these concepts in various questions of your competitive examinations, like making equations, the questions of ages, the questions where roots are involved, and various other questions. Before starting the session, let us have the overview of the session. In this session, we are going to cover how we are going to solve the linear equations, how to solve the quadratic equations, some typical problems, as well as I'll be giving you some practice questions for your home practice. First of all, let us understand what are linear equations. Now, here linear word stands for a degree. Degree means highest power of a variable in a given equation, where linear means degree as 1. So linear equations become the equations having the highest power of variable as 1. As you could see on our screen, we have written the general form of a linear equation as ax plus by equal to c. Here we have taken x and y as the variables whose values we need to derive. A and b are taken as the coefficients and c is taken as the constant. But every linear equation represents a straight line. So we could not solve any linear equation if we are given only one equation. So that's why to solve any linear equation, we need at least two equations. For example, we could write it as a1x plus b1y equals to c1 and a2x plus b2y equals to c2. Now to solve these equations, we will be having the values of a1, b1, c1 and a2, b2, c2 given by the examiner, as we are given the separate examples in substitution method and elimination method. That means we have two methods to solve the linear equations broadly. For example, the first method which I am going to discuss is the substitution method. Here I have taken two equations. One is x minus y is equals to 6 and second is x plus y equals to minus 2. Here, if I want to have the values of x and y, what I am trying to do is I am trying to substitute one variable in the form of the another variable, so that I could create an equation in only one variable. Is that clear, students? Let us see how this is happening. We have x minus y equals to 6, which I have taken one of the equations. I have taken plus y both sides for substituting the value of x, and I have derived the value of x in terms of y as x is equals to 6 plus y. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this value of x in my second equation. I'm referring second equation to this equation. Now when I'll be putting up the value of x in this equation, I'll be getting 6 plus y equals to minus 2. That means I'm getting 2y equals to minus 2 minus 6, 2y equals to minus 8 and y equals to minus 4. Now because we have derived the value of y, we will put this value of y in the derived value of x in terms of y. That is, we'll get x equals to 6 plus minus 4 and we'll get the value of x as 2. So this is how we will get the values for the equations. Now let us have the second method to solve the linear equation. The name of the second method is the elimination method. As the name indicates, elimination, I am going to eliminate one of the variables and put the equation only in one variable. To explain this concept, I have taken the values as 2x plus 3y is equals to 20 and the second equation as minus 2x plus y is equals to 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two equations. When I'll be adding these two equations, 2x will cancels out with minus 2x, 3y will add to y to become 4y, 20 will add to 4 to become 24. So what is the benefit? I'm getting equation only in terms of y as 4y is equals to 24 and y is equals to 6. Now I could use this y is equals to 6 in any of the above equations to get the value of x. I hope students using the methods of solving the linear equations is clear to you. Now let us have few examples based on the same concepts. The first example says solve the set of linear equations as x plus y is equals to 3 and 2x minus 4y is equals to 8. Now because we have learned two methods, we could practice both the methods in this. Let us try to practice both the methods. First of all, let us do the substitution method. Here, I am referring this as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. I'll be driving the value of x as 3 minus y. I'll be putting this value of x in the second equation as 3 minus y minus 4y is equals to 8. Solving it further, we get 6 minus 2y minus 4y is equals to 8, and it becomes 6 minus 6y is equals to 8 minus 6 as 2, and we get the value of y as 2 by minus 6 as 1 upon minus 3. Now we could put this value of y in the right value of x in terms of y as x is equals to 3 minus 1 by 3, which gives me answer as 3 plus 1 by 3, and answer becomes 7 by 3. Now let us learn to solve the same equations with the second method, which is the elimination method. In elimination method, the first equation is x plus y is equals to 3. I'm going to multiply this equation on both sides with 2 to make it as 2x plus 2y equals to 6. Now this becomes my new equation. I'm referring it to as third equation. And I pick up the second equation as it is, which is 2x minus 4y equals to 8. Now you can here very well assume that I have tried to equate the value of x. Now what I'll do is, to eliminate x, I will subtract equation 2 from equation 3, like this. When I'll be subtracting this equation, what I'll be getting is, as the resultant, 0 here, plus 6y here, and minus 2 here. And again I'm going to get the value of y as minus 1 by 3. Now I could use this answer of y in any of the equations of 1, 2 or 3. Let us put this value in 1. So what we'll get is x plus minus 1 by 3 equals to 3, and again the resultant will become x equals to 10 by 3. Right, students? I hope now you can understand the method of substitution and the method of elimination. Now let us have the another set of questions. Here, if you could see it clearly, the variables are in the denominator. Now we have solved the equation when the x and y, that means variables, was in the numerators. But what to do when x and y are in the numerators? Here, instead of taking LCM, which is a general procedure, we should substitute the variables in terms of another variable. Let us see how. What I'll do here is, I'll put 1 upon x minus 2 in terms of another variable as p, and 1 upon y minus 1 as q. Right, students? Now I will replace this value of p and q in the given equation to make my new equations as 5 times p plus q is equals to 2, which becomes my first equation, and 6 times p minus 3 times q equals to 1, my second equation. Now again I could use the two methods to solve this question. I'm choosing the elimination method to solve this question. For that I'm multiplying equation 1 by 3 on both sides to eliminate the value of q. So what I get is 15 times p plus 3 times q is equals to 6. This becomes my third equation. Now to eliminate q, I'll be adding equation number 2 to equation number 3. If we'll be adding 15 to 6, it will become the value as 21 times p. This becomes 0 is equals to 7. Or I could say that p is equals to 7 by 21 as 1 by 3. To get the value of q, I'll be using this value of p in any of the above equations. I'm choosing equation number 1 for the same purpose. I'll be putting the value of p in 5 times 1 by 3 plus q equals to 2. This helps me to get the value of q as 2 minus 5 by 3, which gives me the value of q as 1 by 3. Now I'm going to substitute this value of p and q in the equations of 1 upon x minus 2 and 1 upon y minus 1, which is I need to solve for. Let's see how. When I'm using q as 1 by 3, I'll get 1 upon y minus 1 equals to 1 by 3, which gives me y minus 1 equals to 3 or y is equals to 4. Similarly, I'll be replacing p as 1 upon x minus 2 as equals to 1 by 3 and get the value of x minus 2 equals to 3 as x equals to 5. I hope students, now this method of solving linear equations is very well clear to you. Now students, let us understand more about the linear equations. The system of linear equations. In linear equations, we have two types of equations. One is known as the consistent equations and one is known as the inconsistent equations. To better understand this concept, let us take the example of the linear equations as a1x plus b1y equals to c1 and a2x plus b2y equals to c2. Now, because the linear equations represents a straight line, it is not necessarily true always that the given set of two equations will always give us the unique solutions for x and y. So, the equations whose answer will exist will be called as consistent equations, and the equations whose answer does not exist will be known as inconsistent equations. But let us have a brief idea how one gets to know that a set of given linear equations is solvable or not solvable. As you have seen this diagram, that consistent equations are of two types. One is the independent equations and another is the dependent equations. In equations, a1x plus b1y is equals to c1 and a2x plus b2y is equals to c2 if a1 upon a2 is not equals to b1 upon b2, that is the ratio of the coefficients of the x and the ratio of the coefficients of y. If these two ratios are not equal, then the two equations will be definitely give a unique solution because they will create two intersecting lines. But if a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2 is equals to c1 by C2. That means the three ratios of the coefficients and the constants is equal. Then the equation becomes the dependent equations. In this case, we'll have the infinite number of solutions. And thirdly, we have the inconsistent solutions or the no solution. Here, A1 by A2 should be equals to B1 by B2, but should not be equal to C1 by C2. That means the ratio of the coefficients should not be equal to the ratio of the constant. So, in only the particular case of A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, we could use the method of substitution and elimination. And in other two cases, we don't solve the question, and we directly say the solution is infinite or it has no solutions. Now let us see the example based on the system of linear equations. For what values of k will the pair of linear equations will not have a unique solution? Now let us solve. If this equation to have the unique solution, then the condition was A1 by A2 should be not equals to B1 by B2. That means in equation 3x plus 4y equals to 12, A1 is 3 and A2 is k. In kx plus 12y is equals to 30, which should not be equals to 4 by 12. That means for this set of linear equation to have unique solution, k should not be equals to 9. That means for every k equal to 9, the set of linear equation will not have unique solution. I hope it's very clear to all of you. Let us see another example. Now this is the example based on making the equations of the linear equations. In a class, the number of students is 500 and each boy is contributing 5 rupees and girl is contributing 6 rupees, such that the total contribution amounts to 2700 rupees. So we need to find the number of boys in the class. So here we suppose let the boys be equal to B and girls be equals to G. Now let us make equation with these variables B and G and try to solve the number of boys. Here we could write B plus G, that is number of boys plus number of girls in the class, is equals to 500, and refer to this as the first equation. Each boy is contributing rupees 5, so we could write this as 5 times B, plus each girl is contributing rupees 6, we could write this as 6 times G, and total contribution of the class is 2700. Now we could see that A1 by A2 here is not equal to B1 by B2. So these two set of linear equation will give you a unique solution. Now let us take out the value of boys by using the method of elimination. Now here I'll multiply the equation number 1 by 6 on both sides, which will help me to equate the value of G, which I'll get as 6 times boys plus 6 times girls as equals to 3000, which becomes my third equation. Now if I subtract these two equations, I will get minus B plus 0 equals to minus 300, or boys is equals to 300, which is my desired answer. I hope students the concept of linear equations is clear to you. Let us take one more example. Here the question is speaking about rabbits and the parrots. The total number of legs they have is 600 and the total number of eyes they have is 400. Then we need to tell what is the number of rabbits. Similarly, we could say that let the rabbits here be equals to R and parrot equals to P. Now all of you know that the legs the parrots have is 2 and the legs of the rabbits is 4. So we could say 2 times P plus 4 times R is 600, which becomes my first equation, and the eyes both possess is 2. So 2 times parrots plus 2 times rabbits is equals to 400, which becomes my 2 equation. Now again, if I subtract these 2 equations, I will get 0 plus twice of rabbits is equals to 200, which gives me my desired answer of number of rabbits equals to 200. Right, students? So I hope you are very much clear now about the set of linear equations. After learning linear equations, students, now let us learn the quadratic equations. As I told you, linear stands for degree, here quadratic also stands for degree. Linear means degree 1, quadratic means degree 2. So the general form of the quadratic equation, if we take the variable as x, becomes ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, where x is a variable and a and b are the coefficients and c is the constant. Now let us see how to solve a quadratic equation. Again, we have 2 methods to solve a quadratic equation. First method is splitting the middle term. Let us take the example of 2x square minus 3x minus 9 equals to 0, which is a quadratic equation. Now what I try to do here is try to split 3 in 2 factors, which on multiplication will give me the resultant when I multiply a into c. Means I want to split b in terms of 2 numbers which are the factors of a into c. So here a refers to 2 and c refers to 9, or more specifically minus 9. So I need 2 numbers which are the factors of 2 and minus 9, which is minus 18. So students, that 2 numbers are minus 6 and 3. So how will I write this equation as 2x square minus 6x plus 3x minus 9 equals to 0. After this, I'll try to make a pair of 2 terms. Like I'll club these 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Then try to take out the common values. Here the common value will be 2x and I get it as x minus 3. The common value here is 3 and I'll get the bracket as x minus 3. Then I will take out this common bracket from the 2 terms like this, equals to 0. Now that simply means 2 numbers in multiplication is giving a resultant as 0. That means I could say that either x minus 3 is equals to 0 or 2x plus 3 is equals to 0, which means I'll get x as 3 or x as minus 3 by 2. So that means, student, a quadratic equation can give you maximum 2 values of the variable x. So that means we could even get less than 2 values like 1, or we could have a situation where quadratic equation is not solvable. Now let us see another method of solving the quadratic equation, that is with the help of nature of roots. Now this is called the discriminant method. Now if I take the example as ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then the discriminant of that is b square minus 4ac. If the value of d is greater than 0, then we say the roots of the quadratic equation are real and unequal. If the value of discriminant is equals to 0, then roots are still real but they are equal now. That means the two roots are not distinct. And if the value of discriminant is less than 0, then roots are imaginary. In this particular term, we say we cannot solve a quadratic equation. But in first two terms, then we could take out the value as alpha comma beta equals to minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. The case when d is greater than 0 and alpha is equals to minus b by 2a. This is the case when d is equal to 0. I hope students this method of taking out the solutions is also clear to you. Now let us take one example to understand these methods. The example says 2x square minus 17x plus 21 is equals to 0. Here I need to see, could I break 17 in two such numbers of the multiplication of 2 and 21. So if I could make the factors of 2 and 21, the factors becomes 2, 3 and 7. And the two factors which could result into 17 is 14 and 3. So what I'll do here, student, is 2x square minus 14x minus 3x plus 21 equal to 0. I hope it's clear. Now I'll make pair of 2, 2. Take out 2x common here. It will become x minus 7 minus 3 x minus 7 equal to 0. Again x minus 7 with 2x minus 3 equal to 0. This will give me either x minus 7 is equals to 0 or 2x minus 3 equal to 0, which means x is equals to 7 or x is equals to 3 by 2. I hope now this is clear to you, students. Let us have one more example. Now see, students, this seems to be a cubic equation, but actually is a tricky question. What I'll do here is I try to take out y common in the first equation, like y square minus 4y plus 4 equals to minus 3 y minus 2 equal to whole square. Now if we observe it carefully, this y square minus 4y plus 4 is also the square of y minus 2 whole square. So that means, could I write this as y minus 2 whole square equal to minus 3 y minus 2 whole square? Now normally here students will try to cancel out y minus 2 whole square with y minus 2 whole square, which is actually wrong, students. What we'll do here is we'll take this term which is written on the right hand side to the left hand side, like this, students. And now I will take y minus 2 whole square common and take y plus 3 equal to 0. So here I will get either y minus 2 whole square equals to 0 or y plus 3 equals to 0, and I will get the resultant as y equals to 2 and y equals to minus 3. I hope it's clear, students. Now students, let us take one more question to understand quadratic equations. Here the question is saying about Rohan's marks in science and history, and saying if he got 5 marks more in science and 5 less in history, the product of 2 marks becomes 300. And we asked what are the marks in the two subjects. Here I am assuming the marks of Rohan in science as S and in history as 40 minus S. Also, we are given that if he got 5 marks more in science, that means S plus 5, and 5 less in history, that means 40 minus S minus 5, the product is 300. That means, students, S plus 5 into 35 minus S is 300. Now students, if you solve this 2, you will get S square minus 30S plus 125 equals to 0. That means I need to break 30 into the factors of 125. That means S square minus 5S minus 25S plus 125 equal to 0, which on taking out common values, I'll get S minus 5 minus 25 S minus 5 equals to 0, or S minus 5 S minus 25 equals to 0. That means S could be 5 or S could be 25. That means we're going to have two results. How? If we take the marks of history in terms of science, and we assume that value of science is 5, then the marks of history will be 40 minus S, means 40 minus 5 as 35. And if we take the marks of science as 25, the marks in history will be 40 minus 25 as 15. So students, you have seen that in quadratic equation we are getting two results of the marks. Now students, let us learn something more about quadratic equations, that is about sum of roots and the product of roots. Here I have taken the example as ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and try to make the factors of the equation taken as x square plus 5x plus 6, which will become as x plus 2 and x plus 3. The roots here will become minus 2 and minus 3. We could take the sum of roots as minus 2 plus of minus 3 as minus 5, and the product of roots as minus 2 into minus 3 as 6. But students, actually we don't require to do all this stuff when we have to calculate the sum of roots and the product of roots. we have direct formulas for sum of roots as minus b by a, and here it will become minus 5 upon 1, and product of roots as c by a, as it will become as 6 and 6 by 1. So we could even make an equation when we are known about the sum and the product. The equation when sum and product is known is x square minus sum x plus product equals to 0. So students, I hope the sum of roots and the product of roots in a chord equation is clear to you. Now let us take one example based on sum of roots and the product of roots. Here the equation is given to us as x square minus 6x plus 8 having roots as alpha and beta, and we are asked to make an equation with alpha by beta and beta by alpha. So without taking out the values of alpha and beta, we could solve this question with the help of sum of roots and the product of roots. Let us see how. The given equation is x square minus 6x plus 8 equals to 0. The sum of roots, that is alpha plus beta, of this equation is minus b by a, that means minus of minus 6, that is 6, and the product of roots is c by a, that is 8. Now the required sum of equation is alpha by beta plus beta by alpha, which could be written as alpha square plus beta square by alpha beta and alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta by alpha beta. We could have these values from the above equation as 6 whole square minus 2 times 8 by 8. That means 36 minus 16 by 8, or the value becomes 20 by 8, or cancelling with 4 it becomes 5 by 2. Also the required product is alpha by beta into beta by alpha as 1. So we got the required sum and required product, and we know the equation here is x square minus sum x plus product equals to 0. Substitute the values of sum and product as 5 by 2 plus 1 equal to 0, and the required equation becomes 2x square minus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. So students, I hope you are clear the application of the sum and the product. Now coming to the end of the session, I am giving you some practice questions for your home practice. You can note down this question for your practice. These are the answers to these questions. I hope students you must have enjoyed the session. Happy learning. Thank you.